Hey, being a great plumber is probably killing your plumbing business. Hey, Richard Beatty, the $1 Million Plumber, coming at you here with the morning workout. Good to have you on here today. Hey, did you get your workout in today? All right, start the day off with your workout. I sure hope so. It's good for you and it's good for business. Hey, I said it, okay? 40 years of being in the plumbing industry. All right? 20 of it having started my own plumbing business, literally from my kitchen table with no money. Just a few hand tools on a beat up piece of rusted out crappy truck. Okay, grew into a multi-million-dollar multi-truck plumbing operation. All right, it taught me a thing or two. All right, and it's this, that being great at plumbing does not guarantee you that you will be successful with your plumbing business. I get it. Hey, that's how we all, hey, if you start a plumbing business, the odds are you're a very good plumber. All right, okay, you got in there. Hey, we all fall into plumbing, and then we get in there and discover we're pretty good at it, and then we decide instead of making that guy all the money, we'll make let's make the money for ourselves. And so we open up, we put our name on our truck, and here we go, right? All right, and we're great at it. We think because we're great at plumbing, everything's just going to come our way. The business is going to work out, but that's just not not how it works. All right. In fact, being great at plumbing can be a big hindrance of being successful with your plumbing business, because to be successful with your plumbing business, it ain't about plumbing. Okay, it ain't about plumbing. If you've been watching me for some time, you probably heard me say that, and that is one thing you got to understand. Okay, if you don't grasp this concept with your plumbing business, that it ain't about plumbing, you will not be successful, at least in terms of having a thriving, self-sustaining, and very profitable plumbing business. Sure, hey, I don't want to hear the comments. Okay, you butt crack plumbers, move on. If you have time to comment in a negative manner, it means you're already a loser. Okay, all right. I don't have nothing to hear from you. So I hear the comments. Well, I'm doing all kinds of new construction work, and I'm busy, and I'm making money. No, you're not. You're not creating wealth. Okay. Hey, if you really are into plumbing, you need to just quit the business thing. Okay, and go be a good plumber for someone. Hey, us winners, okay, with successful plumbing businesses, hey, we need good guys like you, okay? We need good plumbers, all right? So go be a good plumber somewhere, all right? But it ain't about plumbing. You've got to grasp that concept, and, that's one of the first things we work on, in the academy and with our clients, is that transitional thought of moving from thinking like a technician about plumbing to thinking like a business CEO, okay? And that is vital in order for you to be successful. So that's the first point. Number one is that it ain't about plumbing, okay? And that's the reason why, being good at plumbing is hurting your plumbing business, okay? Is that when it comes time to hire, all right, is no one, well, first of all, there ain't anybody to hire, okay? And then the second excuse, all right, is there's no one as good as me. There aren't any good plumbers out there. There's no one as good as me. Well, no, there's a reason why you started your plumbing business. You're a good plumber, okay? But we use this thing of having someone be as good as you or know everything about plumbing so we don't hire them. Look, the fact of the matter is you hope that someone's going to be 80% as good as you, okay? 80% as good as you. Get them in the door. If they're 80% as good as you, good thing, okay? All right, they're an asset. All right, you're not building plumbers and making it about plumbing. One of the things we teach about hiring plumbers. One first thing you got to answer the question: why in the hell would anyone want to come work for you? Well, I'm a good plumber and I'm a nice guy. Now, who gives a fuck? All right, why does anyone want to come work for you? You got to answer that question. Why is it different come working for you? What do you have to offer? All right, but when you do have them come, okay, and we talk about this all the time. You go recruit. By the way, I've been in this industry for over 40 years. There's never been enough plumbers. That's an excuse. There's never been enough plumbers. So I can ask you, so you're telling me that in your city, your town, or whatever, you're the only plumber in the town. You're the only plumber. Well, no, I'm not. No, there's other plumbers. I'm not the only plumber. Well, then there's other plumbers. Well, they're working for other companies. Well, I can't steal them. Yeah, you can. It's professional plumbing. Like, those are the guys you want. All right, so there's plenty of plumbers. I get such a kick out of these guys that you'll tell me that there aren't any plumbers. In the same breath, you're saying there's so much competition in my town. There's so much competition. All right, these are just excuses that you're telling yourself. All right. And one of the things you got to get past is having these guys be as good as you. So when you are recruiting or when you're hiring, okay, yeah, like in 20 years, I never asked a plumbing question. Look, if the guy has on his resume that he's worked at Roto-Rooter or Ben Franklin or other big plumbing company in town with a system, all right, and he's been 2 years here, 1 year there, 6 months there, whatever. He's been in plumbing, assuming he knows plumbing. To rake him over the coals about, well, what do you do when you have this? And what do you do when you do that? When you do this, and we do that, and do that. That's all bullshit. All right, just get the guy on board, okay? You want to hire on character, all right? You want to get a butt in a truck, okay, and start making money, all right? You get down the road, really, in 2 weeks, you're going to discover what kind of plumbing he does and doesn't know. Then you decide on what kind of training you want for him, or just, replace him, okay? That's just how it goes, all right? You got to stop with the excuse, no one is as good as me, okay? And what that leads to is the third issue here, is that leaves you stuck in the truck. Your butt's stuck in the truck, okay? First of all, if you like it there, and I get it liking there, look, in the truck, there is no one better than me on the job, in the plumbing job. No one. And I hope you think that way too. You need that. You need that alpha ego, okay? And certainly to be successful in your business, not just making it about plumbing, but you need that ego, okay? And so it was also comfortable. I could walk on any job site. I could figure it out. You've seen enough. It just to feel comfortable there. I don't feel comfortable, sitting behind a desk or sitting at a desk or working with numbers. It's not how I'm wired, okay? And I know after talking with hundreds of you guys, thousands, that it's very similar for a lot of you, okay? And but so we can get cozy and we can sabotage ourselves and find excuses to stay in the truck. But when you're stuck in your truck, when your butt's stuck in the truck, okay, you're working in the business. You're just a pawn, okay? You're just an employee. You're just a bitch of the business, okay? That's all you are. You're not working on your business, okay? You got to work on the business, not in the business, all right? So we got to get your butt out of the truck, period, if you wish to have a thriving, self-sustaining, and very profitable plumbing business, all right? So, hey, I hear, hey, be proud to be a plumber, man. I'm proud of the plumbing trade, all right? It is a great and honorable trade. I never expected to be a plumber, okay? Fell into plumbing, you did too, okay? But it's an honorable trade. And if you decide to be just a craftsman or a plumber, be a craftsman at plumbing, all right? Take yourself seriously, be a pro, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you can make really good money, all right? But if you started a plumbing business or looking to start a plumbing business, okay, it ain't about plumbing, okay? And you can't make it, no one's gonna be as good as a plumber as you are, okay? And you gotta get your butt out of the truck, all right? You do that, okay? You gotta, in order to be successful. If you don't, you won't. It's that simple. Seen it thousands of times, man, okay? So there we go, for what it's worth. Okay, that's the morning workout. Hey, go hit your day. And as always, be dangerous and plumb like a champion.